Thousands of residents are on evacuation order, and we are joined live now by Ian Langstaff. He is one of the residents who has opted to stay in the town and help the neighbors out. Ian, first I want to say good morning and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
Now, before we start, I want to recognize that you are outside and something wonderful is happening, especially in a situation like an encroaching wildfire. It is currently raining. Tell me about the situation there.
Oh, you're going to bring a tear to my eye. The rain started a little bit yesterday, and by last night, the ground was good and wet here. It wasn't super saturated. We haven't seen good rain in over 2 years here. So we heard it all night long on the roof of the motorhome. It just poured, it poured. We have puddles, and now we have a new problem. These are the bins that they set up, the 400 barrels they set up for the fire protection services across the road. There's one of these every half a kilometer, and they're super heavy. They hold a lot of water, and the ground is getting soft. And they actually had to drain this one here over the night because it started to fall over.
Wow. So this is definitely good news in the sense you haven't had a good rain in 2 years. This is incredible that it is happening as these fires were approaching. We'll go back to you deciding to stay behind. 4,700 or more people have been evacuated from the area. Why did you decide to stay in Fort Nelson?
Um, the plan kind of failed. The evacuation plan kind of failed, and a lot of people panicked. A lot of people left prematurely. They left before they got stuff done. There's livestock in town, and I provide an asset. We're experienced in equipment firefighting and mill fires. We have experience in fabrication and repairing stuff. We're a jack of all trades kind of shop here at Half Cut Garage. And we believe that we were more of an asset than a liability to stay here.
Now, you've sent us some images as well of the fire a few days ago as the fire was definitely approaching. Here are some of the images you sent us approaching the area. Deciding to stay there, seeing those flames approaching, weren't you in fear? Are you afraid of staying there and being caught in a situation where you can't get out?
Part of it is prepared. I know lots of people are saying that we were taking risks and stuff that we shouldn't, but it's a conscious decision based on lots of things, based on previous weather experience, the situational awareness, stuff like that. There's firefighters here too, just as well as us. So um, they might be more qualified in a structure fire, but we have all sorts of other experience. And like I said, we were prepared. We dug in pretty well. We did our best to prepare our home. We have a massive water supply on our own personal supply. We filled our swimming pool, and we have a 3-inch trash pump. So we were ready to go.
What have you been doing while you have been there? It's not just you, first off. You are there with some other area neighbors. And what kind of work have you been doing in order to prepare yourselves?
There's a lot of us here. There's more here than what they're leading you to believe. Um, there's a lot of us that dug in. We've been doing absolutely everything possible. We're keeping the day-to-days going. We're making sure that everybody's okay. We're making sure that everybody has their medications. We're making sure the livestock, people fled. Some animals got out. So the local radio station host owns a pet store. He's going around changing litter boxes and stuff like that. There's a shot of me at the neighbor's place with their um, sheep, chickens, all sorts of stuff. People, they panicked. They couldn't leave. And then probably one of the worst things is I decimated my landscape. I've spent 22 years, 23 years building my house, building my property, and we've torn all the pine trees down. We've torn all the spruce trees. Um, it looks like a war zone in my backyard, but we did what we needed to do to create a fire safe barrier around our house. And we've done the same for lots of other people.
Now, with this rain, and we're seeing the rain coming down, you're seeing the water tanks as well that are now overflowing with water, which is great news. Have you received an update at all today in terms of when people might be able to come back and whether or not you are definitely safe to stay where you are?
So I wouldn't say that. Definitely, I wouldn't say that we're 100% safe and out of the woods yet. Updates on the ground from actual officials come far and few between in my mind. Um, that being said, the communication has gotten much better. The first 2 3 days were pretty rough as far as getting information goes, and the information that was coming out was either far behind or was heavily skewed. But that being said, it's going to be some time. We went for a little bit of a drive last night. Once the majority of the crews had gone, we had to go and get fuel and some chainsaw supplies and stuff like that. And there's definitely some infrastructure damage on the north end of town that's not on the north end of town. Pardon me. I don't want people to believe that the fire even made it into town. It did not. On the north end of the old Alaska Highway, mile 308, there's some infrastructure damage. So we've seen BC Hydro crews yesterday afternoon come into town. We've seen gas crews come into town. A lot of the RCMP are returning into town. So, but it's going to take some time. That many power poles down will take a significant amount of time. So we're just going to have to let the officials do what they need to do. Everybody needs to do their best to stay out of their way, and just like fighting the fire as a community, we'll bring it back together.
All right, and we hope that that damage remains minimal at this point. And we're so sorry to hear that you had to tear down a lot of your yard that you have been building up for so many years, but all in the word of safety. Ian Langstaff, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. Please stay safe out there, and we hope the rain continues for you.
Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful morning.